Okay. Let me share the screen with you people. Okay. Today's topic in measurement would be order of magnitude. Okay. So we need to understand what this order of magnitude is. Okay. You come across many questions so far as this order of magnitude is concerned. For that, you need to understand what order of magnitude is basically. Okay. So let's start dealing with the concept of order of magnitude over here. So when I say order of magnitude, it means it's the value basically. Okay. So order of magnitude of a physical quantity is the value of its magnitude, which is rounded off to the nearest integral power of 10. Now, looking at the statement, it really becomes tricky for us, to actually depict how to calculate order of magnitude. So for that purpose, what I have done is I have selected few examples which will help us in understanding how we work out the value for order of magnitude. So before we do that, let's again, let me repeat the definition for you people so that you can always correlate whatever we do in the consequent stages with the definition.
बेडरूम आणि हॉल झाडायचं.
Somebody has kept the mic. Nehal, just put the mic on mute. Okay. Fine. So let's talk again about the order of magnitude. The order of magnitude of a physical quantity is the value of its magnitude rounded off to the nearest integral power of 10. Now, what does this mean? Let's understand it with the example. Okay, so I've taken few examples over here. The first one, say for example, I measure the mass as 123 kg, and now I need to find out the order of magnitude of this quantity. Okay, obviously this is a physical quantity, and which physical quantity I'm talking about? It's the mass basically. Okay, so 123 का magnitude कैसे find out करेंगे हम order of magnitude? Okay, so what you are supposed to do, you are supposed to establish this number in a decimal system where you can just put this number as 1.23 into 10 raised to 2. You are just putting it in the integral powers of 10 basically, and you have to ensure that the decimal point is just after the first number. So always you are supposed to ensure that the decimal point has to be after the first number. Here it was 123.0, and we shifted the decimal point, say, towards your left by 2 places. Therefore, this 10 raised to 2 came into picture. You all realize this, okay? So in under the given circumstances, what would be the order of magnitude? So let's have a look at it. So what they say, the number before the decimal. So if we talk about this decimal point, if we talk about the number before decimal, it is 1, and obviously it is less than 5. Therefore, if this number is less than 5, that is 1 over here, then whatever are the 10 powers, they would be considered as order of magnitude. So for this particular example, the order of magnitude will be 10 raised to 2. Okay. Why? Because the number just before the decimal is less than 5. Had it been 5 or more than 5, then what you are supposed to do? Okay, the next question comes into picture. But if it is less than 5, then how to depict the order of magnitude? This example makes it very clear to you people. Hopefully you understand this. Okay. In examination also, you get some quantity basically being measured. You just try to put it in this format and see what the order would be. Okay. But then the big question still comes into picture. Now here is a number, you can see 6527 kilometer. Now this is a distance measured basically. Okay. Now this can be represented as in terms of decimal shifting. You can put it as in shift decimal point 3 places to the left, and then it will become 6.527 into 10 raised to 3 kilometers. Now if you remember, the number before the decimal point is 6, unlike 1 over here, it is 6. 6 means greater than 5. Now if it is greater than 5, then what you are supposed to do? Had it been less than 5, directly 10 raised to 3 would have been the order. But here in this case, it is not less than 5. Okay? 5 or greater than 5. So under such circumstances, what you are supposed to do, you're supposed to add 1 to this. Okay, so it will be 3 plus 1. So the order of the magnitude will be 10 raised to 4 kilometer. Remember this. Okay, so these two examples are making it quite clear how you depict the order of a quantity. Now, first of all, you'll have to put it in a decimal system. Secondly, you have to observe the number before the decimal, whether it is less than 1 or less than 5 or greater than 5, 5 or greater than 5. If it is less than 5, then whatever are the 10 ka powers would be the order of magnitude. Otherwise, if it is greater than 5 or 5 basically, so 5 is included in that, then what you are supposed to do, you are supposed to add 1 to the power of 10, like we have done it over here, you can see, and that gives you the order of the magnitude. Okay, so very interesting thing, something new to understand. Please take a quick screenshot of this before we move ahead, friends. Very important concept. Okay, how we depict the order of magnitude. Hopefully these things are clear to you. Okay? Any one of you can just unmute and tell me whether you have understood this so that we move ahead to the next part.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, great. Okay. So hopefully I've taken a screenshot of this. Okay. Okay, sorry. So just give me a moment so that we talk about the next type. Okay, something different. Let's understand. Just like order of quantity, there is a concept called as significant figures, or we also call it as significant digits. Now, in a given number, whatever measurements you make, they ask certain questions. How many figures or how many digits are significant? So first of all, let's understand what we mean by saying significant digits. Okay, so significant digits are, what we can say is the numbers which are significant in a given calculation or estimated quantity. So which numbers are significant? So let's have a look at it. Okay, what are significant digits? So here it's clearly mentioned the significant digits in a measurement consist of all the digits known with certainty plus one final digit which is uncertain or is estimated. Like say for example, if somebody measures 3.995, so 3.99 would be certain digits and 5 is one uncertain digit. So 3 plus 1 is 4 in that. But then there are certain rules also how we actually work out the significant digits. So you should be aware of these rules. If you are aware of these rules, then it will be easier for you to solve the problems also. Okay, so let's go through the rules also one by one before I actually make you work out some problems on order of the quantity and significant figures as well. So you just take a screenshot of this so that that this serves as a definition for you people so far as significant digits are concerned. Okay, so let's see how we work it out. So when we take examples, things would become more clearer. All right, so let's move ahead. Again, I repeat, the significant digits in a measurement consist of all digits known with certainty plus one final digit which is uncertain or is estimated. Okay, so what exactly it means, let's understand through examples. So first, let's talk about the rules for working out significant figures. Okay, the first rule. Okay, all non-zero digits are significant figures. Now let's understand this statement with the help of an example. Okay, and what's the statement? All non-zero digits are significant figures. Okay, let's see. So here I'm taking a number and we are working out a significant figure here. Number is 16. Say for example, if the number is 16, so you have two digits over here and they are non-zero. One digit is 1, other is 6, you can see. So obviously, how many significant figures it would be involving? 2. So the answer for significant figure comes up to be 2. All non-zero digits are significant figures. Let's talk about this example. I take second number 1683. Okay. So how many non-zero digits are there? So if you try to work it out, there are 4 non-zero digits. So the significant figure will be 4. All right. Let's talk about this third number, 16835. So how many non-zero digits are there involved in this number? So you can see there are 5. So obviously the significant figure would be 5. So this is rule number 1. You can take a quick screenshot of it before we discuss, rule number 2, so that it serves as notes for you people. Hopefully done. Let's move ahead. All zero, the second rule, please try to understand this, okay? You have to be very focused on what we are discussing, because you understand all the rules, then it is very easier for you to depict significant figures, and you would get such questions in your examination. All right. So what it says, the second rule, it says all zero occurring between non-zero digits are significant figures. So second rule, very interesting. All zero occurring between non-zero digits are significant figures. So let's work it out with the help of examples. Okay, so let's talk about the number and significant figure. The first number, 802. Have you observed this number, 802? 8 and 2 are non-zero, and there is a 0 in between the two non-zero digits. So whenever you come across a 0 between two non-zero digits, you will consider that 0 as a significant figure. And therefore, in this number, 2 is a significant figure, 0 is a significant figure, 8 is a significant figure. Therefore, the total significant figures in this particular number will be 3. Okay, that's what it means. Okay, all 0 occurring between non-zero digits are significant figures, friends. Hopefully, you understood this. Let's take another example. Here you can see there are 3 zeros between 8 and 4. Now, because these zeros are between 8 and 4, they will be considered as significant. And therefore, the total number of significant figures, can anybody, Ananya, can you unmute and say how many significant figures are there in this number? 8004. Anybody can unmute and speak. How many significant figures do you find in 8004?
5.
Yeah, 5. There are 5 figures, right? You can. So this is how you start working. Well, there are more rules also. These are just first two rules we have seen, how to depict significant figures. All right. So just take a quick screenshot of this before we move ahead towards the different type of rules for significant figures. Okay, hopefully you have taken the screenshot of this. Let's move ahead. Very interesting. Okay, be focused now. What it says, the next rule, all 0 to the right of the last non-zero digits are not significant. Complicated statement. With the help of some examples, we would be able to understand what's there in the statement. What they say, all 0 to the right of last non-zero digit. Last non-zero digit. Okay. All zeros to the right of last non-zero digits are not significant. Let's talk about a number. 40. So here, how many significant figures? So the right hand side, right of the last non-zero. What about the 0 over here? Is it on the right hand side? So is it significant? No. If it is on the right hand side, the significant figure is only 1. So this 0 should not be considered as significant. That's what it means. Okay. Let's talk about another number. 410. So how many significant figures it would be incorporating? Yes, any one of you can unmute and speak.
2.
Yeah.
2.
Yes. So 2 significant figures. Right. Very nice. Okay. Now I place another complicated number. Let's see how many of you can depict which 0 is significant and which 0 is not significant. Come on, tell me.
4.
significant numbers.
Yeah, that means,
4.
yeah, exactly. That means between 4 and 2 wala 0 is significant, but the 0 after this 4 is not significant. Okay, so yes, the answer is 4. Correct. Let's move ahead. Okay, important again. All zeros to the right of a derived point. Okay, understand the statement. You all know the statements are a bit complicated, but the moment we try to understand them with examples, the things become easier for us. Okay, so let's understand the statement. Again, what the statement says: all zeros to the right of the derived point are decimal point, and to the left of the non-zero digits are not significant. So what it means? Let's understand. So let's take a number over here. 0.08. So derived point is decimal point, I'm saying. Okay, decimal point. There is a 0 over here also. There is a 0 over here also. So which 0 is significant and which 0 is not significant? So it will clearly tell you. Whatever is on to the right of the derived point. So you can see to the right of the decimal point is this 0, and this 0 is non-significant. Obviously, this 0 is also non-significant, and this 0 is also non-significant, and therefore the significant number is only 1, and that is 8 over here in this case. That's what this rule says. Okay, let's talk about this. Yeah, anybody can unmute and tell me whether how many significant figures are involved here. Any idea?
1.
Okay, yes, correct. 1. Very nice. Good. So you have understood how to work out significant figures. Now, in this case, how many significant figures are there? Any one of you can just unmute and speak.
3.
Yeah. So let's see. Exactly. So good. Now you understood how you work out significant figures. Okay. This was our primary aim. Two things we wanted to study for the day, and that is how you determine the order of the quantity and how you work out the significant figures. You can take a quick screenshot of this before I post some problems on what we have studied for the day today. Hopefully you have taken the screenshot. There is one more rule to be ascertained before we go for the questions. Okay, and what it says: all zeros to the right of the decimal point and to the right of a non-zero digit are significant. Okay, so what it means? Let's have an understanding over here. So let's talk about the number 0.40. Okay, so which zeros they say they are significant? Okay, so which zeros? All zeros to the right of the decimal point after a non-zero digit. So 0.4 उसके बाद जो zero आ रहा है, whether it is significant or not, it is significant. Had this 0 been over before 4, it would have been insignificant, because this 0 is after 4, after decimal point, it has become significant. Okay, so very tricky at times. Simultaneously, you'll have to consider all these rules while deciding significant figures, friends. Yeah. So, how many significant figures do you find over here? Come on. Yeah, any one of you can unmute and speak. Whosoever wants to speak, please. Kitna significant figure?
3. 3.
3.
Significant.
Great. So, you people have understood how to work it out. Okay. The next one. Okay. Next rule. Let's understand the next rule. The power of 10 are not quoted or considered as significant digits. Like, say, for example, if it is 1.4, it is not 1 into 4, wrongly mentioned, 1.4 and 10 raised to minus 2, has only two significant figures. Okay, 1 and 4 actually. It's not 2, but 1 and 4. So 10 raised to minus 2 won't be considered as significant. Okay, that's what it means. So only two significant figures, 1 and 4. Instead of 2, it should be 4 over here. And here, instead of multiplication, it should be 1.4. Okay. So take a screenshot of this before we actually deal with some problems based on what we have studied for the day. Hopefully you have taken
Sir,
the yes.
will you please explain the second one?
Second one, this one, this one.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, okay, fine. I'll explain you this. The power of 10 are not considered as significant. Means whatever are the powers of 10. So either power of 10 kitna hai? 10 raised to minus 2.
म्हणजे
Not considered as
झाला नाही
significant.
सुरू
चालूच आहे.
These figures are not considered as significant ones. Okay. You got my point? So 10 raised to minus 2 is not significant. Only 1 and 4 is significant. Is that clear? Hopefully
Yes, sir.
that's clear.
Thank you.
Okay, okay, okay. So now what I will do, I will just place a different slide for you people so that we start working on that slide. Okay, just give me a moment so that I can share the screen with you people. Okay. Numericals. Okay. Numericals. We'll talk about numericals. Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah, fine. So let's talk about the numericals. Okay. Great. So you may get a question like this. State the order of magnitude of duration of a day. State the order of magnitude of duration of a day. So what's the duration of a day? Come on. You might be knowing what's the duration of the day. Tell me. Any one of you can speak. Let it be an interactive session. असं नको व्हायला की आपण म्हणजे इंटरॅक्टच करत नाहीये. Not be one sided. Okay.
24 hours.
24 hours. Yes, correct. So 24 hours को हम represent करेंगे. Okay. So we know duration of the day is 24 hours. So if I have to convert it in seconds, so 24 into 60 into 60 seconds. Okay. So then when I multiply this, you get a question like this. This is the way you are supposed to work it out. Okay. So 24 into 60 into 60 will ultimately amount to 86400 seconds. Now for finding out order of the quantity, order of the magnitude, basically, you all know the decimal point from this 0 has to be shifted 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 places towards your left, right? So you can see it will be like this 8.6400 into 10 raised to 4 seconds. Now if you observe this number near to the decimal, prior to the decimal point, this is 8. Obviously, it is greater than 5 if you observe. So what will be the order then? Whether it will be 10 raised to 4 or we have to add 1 over here? Any one of you can tell me whether we are
We should
supposed to
add
add 1.
one.
Sorry?
We should add 1.
Exactly. So what will be the order?
1.
Exactly. The order will be 10 raised to 5 because you have to add 1 to 4. 4 plus 1 will become 5. This is the order of the magnitude of the duration of day. So in general, you can get any amount or any quantity. Here it was duration of day. Tomorrow they may talk about anything in terms of hours, in terms of kgs, in terms of Newton. You are supposed to find out the order in this fashion. Hopefully things are pretty clear till here. Am I correct in
Yes,
assuming?
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, great. Take a screenshot of this before we move ahead towards the second type, getting problem solved on significant figures. Okay, hopefully done. Yeah, this is another example for order of magnitude before we figures. Okay. Yes. Reva, are you able to hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. आणि काही टेन्शन घेऊ नका कोणी जण काही जरी मिस झालं तरी आपण ते प्लेस करूया त्याच्यामध्ये रेकॉर्डिंग डोंट वरी ओके ऍटलीस्ट इन द इनिशियल स्टेजेस डोंट वरी गेट हॅबिच्युएटेड टू इट अँड बी कम्फर्टेबल विथ द सिस्टम बिकॉज आय टेल यू फ्रेंड्स इन द गिवन सिनारिओ at least 3 to 4 months will have to work like this only, I believe. Hopefully this gets away easily. You know? But then you get comfortable with such kind of systems. No problem regarding this. You can always talk to me if you have any doubts in WhatsApp group. But then talk to me individually so that we don't create a mess in the group basically. Okay. You have my WhatsApp number also. You are in the group. So here is the question, friends. Give the order of magnitude of mass of a proton, and the mass of the proton is given to you 1.67 into 10 raised to minus 27. So can anybody depict what should be the order for this particular number? कितना होना चाहिए order इसका? Yes, anybody? I mean, you can give me the order of this quantity. See, what you are supposed to do before decimal, you should see the number, that is 1. So 1 is less than 5. So here you are not supposed to add anything. The order will remain as it is, isn't it? You can see the order is 10 raised to minus 27. Okay. Had this number being greater than 5 or 5, then you would have added 1 to this. But then when you add 1 to this, just discussing a different type of problem. When you add 1 to this, you should be clear with the number line. So minus 27 plus 1, it would have been minus 27 plus 1, it would have been how much?
Minus 20.
Minus 26.
Exactly, right. So abhi to nahi hai wo problem, but then if you get a question like this, you should be in a position to find out the order. Okay. All right. Good. Take a screenshot before I move ahead to the next one. Okay, hopefully done. Yeah, now here comes the question. You are supposed to determine the number of significant figures in your measurement.
Sir, please show the previous slide.
Okay. Hold on. This one? Okay. Take a screenshot of this before I move. And once you are done with it, let me know so that we move ahead.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. चलो ये क्वेश्चन देख लीजिए सब लोग. Determine the number of significant figures in the following measurements. There are 4 measurements. Okay? And you are supposed to tell me, give me the significant figures over here. So I give you 2 minutes to think over it. You think about the first number. First number में कितना significant figures है बताइए. According to the rules which we have depicted, we have seen.
4.
Okay, let's see. Very correct.
5, sir.
4 are the number of significant figures. Great. Second, 93.26. How many significant figures?
4.
Okay, good. The third number, 2.35 into 10 raised to minus 19. So 10 raised to minus 19 is not significant. So how many?
3.
3.
Exactly, correct. The next one, fourth one, you can see 1.3725 into 10 raised to 9. How much? How many now?
5.
5.
5.
Exactly. Great. Take a screenshot of this. So this is how you are supposed to solve. Things are pretty easy logically if you try to remember them, and study them. I'll make things very easy for you. Don't worry. But stay sincere in your efforts. That's more important. Okay. Hopefully, I've taken the screenshot. Should we move ahead?
Just a second.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
fine. Let me know, then we will move ahead. No problem.
Yes, sir. Done.
Sir, so we don't have, in the first example, we don't have to consider the 0 before the decimal point, right?
Yeah, that's what the rule said. Na? After decimal
Okay.
point, if you have a 0, that is not significant. Had it been like this, after decimal, if 5 was coming first and then the 0, then that 0 would have been significant.
Okay.
Are you getting it? So that's what the rule says.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So this was all. all about significant figures, and you can see what I mean to say, order of quantity. Hopefully, you people are comfortable with this. I want your reactions basically.
Yes, sir.
ओके, तो आज का तो हम लोग अब आज का जो टारगेट था वो दो ही चीजें मुझे आपको सिखानी थी. पहला तो था हाउ टू वर्क आउट ऑर्डर ऑफ क्वांटिटी, और दूसरा जो था कि व्हाट आर सिग्निफिकेंट फिगर्स. इफ यू गेट क्वेश्चंस ऑन सिग्निफिकेंट फिगर्स, आई बिलीव it will be easier for you to, what I mean to say, would be easier for you people to actually work out the problems. Okay, now we have some time, we can spare 5-10 minutes more. So what we can do is we can get back to a different set of questions on errors. Okay, so I'll try to put that screen also. Give me a moment. Significant figures and all these things are so over. Okay, but then we can just have a practice on errors basically. So just give me a moment. Yeah, these were the problems which we have solved yesterday, you can see. But there are certain problems which we didn't solve. So this was the last problem we have solved yesterday. Finding out error, if you all remember. Percentage error, yeah, this is something which we have solved. Yeah. Important question, concentrate. Okay, a tricky question. We are supposed to find out percentage error in kinetic energy of a body of mass. So mass is given to you. कितना mass दिया है देखो. तो mass का measurement दिया हुआ है. कितना है? M equal to 60 plus minus 0.3. What does this mean? 60 is your most probable value or the average value, and plus minus 0.3 means this is the average absolute error. या तो वो plus 0.3 हो सकता है या minus 0.3. So this is the tolerance limit over here. The average absolute error. But this is regarding mass. Then they say this body is moving with a velocity of, okay, the velocity is also measured. और measurement क्या है? 25 plus minus 0.1 centimeter per second. So 25 is the most probable value or the average value. But what is plus minus 0.1? This is the error. Either it can be plus or minus, right? So this can be the error, tolerance, the average absolute error. तो वेलोसिटी में भी एवरेज एब्सोल्यूट एरर दिया है और मास में भी दिया है, और आपको परसेंटेज एरर किस में फाइंड आउट करना है? supposed to work it out in kinetic energy. So here the equation of kinetic energy will come into picture. Okay, this is a more complicated one as compared to the yesterday's questions which we have solved. So let's see once for all how we work it out. Okay, so mass is measured like this: 60 plus minus 0.3 gram. Velocity is 25 plus minus 0.1 centimeter per second. So how you work it out? Okay, so you need to know the formula for kinetic energy, friends. It is half mv square, you all know. Here half is not a quantity. Mass and velocity is a quantity. So half won't come into picture when we estimate percentage error, because half is not a quantity. It's an experimental value. Yes, but whatever measurements are involved in mass and velocity, they being the physical quantities, obviously whatever error was involved in both the quantities will add up to the percentage error in measurement of kinetic energy of the body. So let's see how we work it out, because it's not a simple case. Okay, mass is raised to 1, but velocity they say it is raised to 2. Earlier had it been only 1, so mass का error plus velocity का error हो जाता था, total error. ये 2 है, so things will go slightly different over here. So let's see. The percentage error in kinetic energy will be given as, look here, half is not playing the role. Delta m by m, just because m raised to 1 is present over here. Just because v raised to 2 is there, this 2 will come into picture over here like this. So it becomes 2 delta v by v. Had this been 3, then instead of 2, here it would have been 3. Had this being 4, then instead of 2, it would have been 4. Because it is 2 over here, this 2 comes into picture. This is a new thing which you should remember. Otherwise, the procedure is general procedure which we have adopted earlier. Now things become easier. We know the value of m. M is 60, delta M 0.3, delta V 0.1, V 25. We know all the values. Once we know the values, just multiply by 100 and put the values to get the percentage error. So when you solve this, the percentage error will come out to be 0.03013%. Sorry, into 100. You have multiplied by 100. So 1.3% is the error in measurement of kinetic energy. Mark it as an important question. Okay, so maximum complication can be. Yes, Anushka, you have some question?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
kinetic energy is equal to 1/2 mv square असं
Right.
लिहिलंय. So
Right.
आपण 1/2 का नाही घ्यायचं ते जरा explain.
वन हाफ हा नंबर आहे बघ. वन हाफ हा जो नंबर आहे ना हा एक्सपेरिमेंट वरनं आलाय. हा क्वांटिटी नाही आहे. आता एरर कशामध्ये होऊ शकतो? नंबर मेजर करण्यामध्ये एरर नाही येत. आपण जी क्वांटिटी मेजर करतो फिजिकल क्वांटिटी. नाव फिजिकल क्वांटिटी काय असते? द क्वांटिटी विच कॅन बी मेजर्ड. सो mass is a physical quantity, velocity is a physical quantity. Therefore, the error will always be involved in the physical quantities and not the number. This number you get it from experiments. Okay, so you just discard this. मग बाकीच्या
Okay, sir.
ठिकाणी असंच करावं लागेल. जिथे जिथे फॉर्म्युलाज मध्ये नंबर येईल ना तर तुम्ही तो नंबर डिस्कार्ड करायचा. फक्त फिजिकल क्वांटिटीज मधला एरर कन्सिडर करायचा आणि ह्या पद्धतीने तो एस्टिमेट करायचा.
Okay, sir.
Okay, that's a rule basically. Let's understand it that way. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So hopefully things are pretty clear till here. So the next time we are meeting is I believe Thursday. Thursday I would be discussing a tricky topic. Okay, dimensions, very interesting and important. And once that dimension topic is over, then I will show you what type of problems were asked in NEET examination. Okay, recent examination, NEET or JEE mains or entrance examination on this particular topic. Okay, measurements. So we would be talking about that also. So slowly, we would progress. Hopefully till that time you people, what I expect is you take care. सगळ्यांना समजलंय का आजचं जे काही आपण शिकलोय? कोणाला काही डाऊट्स असेल तर तुम्ही इंडिव्हिज्युअली माझ्याशी व्हॉट्सअपवर कनेक्ट होऊ शकता, काही प्रॉब्लेम नाही. आणि नसेल तर विचारू शकता इथे पण. ठीक आहे. होपफुली यू आर कम्फर्टेबल विथ द सिस्टम.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Together we will put the efforts in a proper direction, and ultimately we will ensure that we for good when the time comes, the opportunity comes. All right. So bye and take care for the time. Tomorrow we don't have a session. You would have the session on Thursday and Friday as we have discussed. Okay, the timing would remain same. No issue. So till that time, bye bye and take care.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Chalo, take care everybody. Huh?